brand new DLC weapon, the new SMG, the UGR that has been added into Cold War, has been a bit of a disappointment in my opinion, as it really doesn't seem to outshine any of the other weapons in its class. And I do enjoy using this weapon, and I like the way that it feels during gameplay, but in both multiplayer and zombies, the weapon just feels average, maybe even a bit below. But how does the UGR fare against bosses? Well, if you look on YouTube, a lot of people have been posting about Orda, and it didn't do very well. But what about Legion? I mean, this is one of the most difficult bosses of all time. You have the time limit, and you have to get through that armor. Will an SMG cut it? I actually think you'll be a little bit surprised. But before we get into that, I want to discuss some of the flaws of the UGR. And I think the biggest flaw it has is the explosive flechette rounds, or flechette rounds, as they end up doing more harm than good inside of zombies. Since they are technically considered an explosive, or the UGR is considered an explosive weapon, the zombies behave differently when they get hit, and it can mess up your trains or a chance to get a critical kill, which is just not something you want to have to deal with when you're hoarding up the undead. But once these are removed, the gun behaves obviously more traditionally, and when you combine this by adding more armor damage, this thing really seemed to do some work against Legion, which I wasn't expecting at all. But the question that we really are here to answer today is, can you get through the whole entire boss fight with the UGR? And by the end of this video, I hope that I have answered that question. So if you take a look at the footage on screen, I compared the UGR to the M16, and if you don't know already, burst rifles do very well against Legion. They just melt him with only a few magazines, and let me just show you how that works before we go to the UGR.
It may be responsible for the obstruction. Kill it. Perhaps that could destroy the crystals that block the hatch.
Now let's compare the UGR. As you can see, the UGR put Legion in his submissive state rather quickly, which, again, like I said at the beginning, I was not expecting it to happen that fast. The attachments, I do think, have a lot to do with it, which I will post on screen right now, and the Shatterblast ammo mod certainly helps, as each bullet has a chance to damage and break armor. So, to get to the point of the video, is the UGR something you should take into the Legion boss fight? I would say overall, no, but it is certainly a decent option if it's all you have, which, I mean, it's a video game, you can do whatever the hell you want. The M16 does around 2,000 damage per shot, and even more on the electric balls of energy or Legion's weak spots, whereas the UGR does around 1,100 damage per shot and approximately 2,500 damage per shot on the weak spots. And I know when you add fire rate and effective damage range and all these other factors that get mixed together, damage numbers aren't that cut and dry, but if we're going to look at it from the damage per bullet perspective, it doesn't even do half the damage that the M16 can do upon the armor of Legion. Having a fast fire rate, longer damage range, and even using Shatterblast, I really do think helps a lot and does a lot of the heavy lifting for the URG, so make sure to have the attachments that I recommended on your loadout so that, you know, if you have to use it against Legion, you can, or if you just want to do it as a challenge, it'll make it that much more efficient for you. The last thing that I would say about this weapon is that while it is decently effective at taking Legion down, it's not really effective against the zombies or the elite enemies that are spawning all around you. The Legion boss fight is a fight where every second counts. I mean, you're on a timer for Christ's sake, and if you are swapping between weapons to kill standard enemies while Legion is collapsed, you're just wasting your precious time to hit the weak points. And then you have to just do the process all over again, and yeah, that's just not very efficient for your game. And that's exactly what happened with me in my experience. During the boss fight, I think I knocked him out 6 times, 5 of which are with the UGR, and I just couldn't finish it. The main issue isn't getting Legion down, it's being able to hit his weak points consistently without getting overrun by zombies. And I know you could say that about any weapon in this boss fight, but it is particularly noticeable with the UGR. And besides that main issue of not being able to focus on his weak points, when you are able to, your damage mitigation, your magazine capacity, and your reload speed shortchange you just enough to make you end up wasting more time, and your efficiency, I know I use that word a lot, just becomes lacking. So overall, would I recommend this weapon for zombies? Maybe in the early game, but overall, I think it's a below average SMG. And with the 50-ish weapons that we have to choose from in Cold War Zombies, there is just clearly better options and more effective options lying in wait to use against Legion. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, as that's really what pushes videos out these days. And if you love the video, please consider subscribing. And most importantly, have a great day. See you later, everybody. Peace out.